abbreviated version, but the Bible says that the Word of God is living and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's able to divide the joint and marrow. It has the ability to separate the joint and the marrow. It tells or gives it exposes the intentions of our hearts, right? So that the Word of God is an awesome and a powerful thing. So therefore, I would like to read it to you, the storyline, and then I'll be brief into what God would have me to share with you. Somebody say amen?
Amen.
So here we go. Let's give it a spin here.
Now the Philistines gathered their forces for war and assembled at Succoth in Judah. They pitched camp at Ephes-Dammim between Succoth and Azekah. Saul and the Israelites assembled and camped in the valley of Elah and drew up their battle line to meet the Philistines. The Philistines occupied one hill and the Israelites another, with the valley between them. A champion named Goliath, who was from Gath, came out of the Philistine camp. His height was 6 cubits and a span. He had a bronze helmet on his head and wore a coat of scale armor of bronze weighing 5,000 shekels. On his legs he wore bronze greaves, and a bronze javelin was slung on his back. His spear shaft was like a weaver's rod, and its iron point weighed 600 shekels. His shield bearer went ahead of him. Goliath stood and shouted to the ranks of Israel, "Why do you come out and line up for battle? Am I not a Philistine? And are you not the servants of Saul? Choose a man and have him come down with me. If he is able to fight and kill me, we will become your sons."
All right. Well, nice try. So let me pick up, and I'll pause it right there. All right. So it picks up here. So our storyline here is Samuel chapter 1, verse 17. And actually the story and its contents is about 52 verses. I was going to have the phone read it over, but I'm going to kind of skip over it. So I'm going to read a little bit to you, and I'll give you a little background in case many of us probably know the story, but I don't want to assume that everybody does. So the story takes place, God bless you. We're reading on Goliath here, and it says now, in verse 9, Goliath comes out and says, "If you're able to fight with me and kill me, then we will become your servants. But if I prevail against him and he kills me and I kill him, then you will become our servants and serve us." Again, the Philistines said, "I defy the ranks of Israel this day. Give me a man that may fight, we may fight together." When Saul and all the army heard these words, the Philistines then were dismayed and greatly afraid. Now David, the son of the Ephrathite, and of Bethlehem of Judah, whose name was Jesse, and he had 8 sons. And Jesse was old in these days of Saul and advanced in years among men. And he had 3 older sons. Jesse had gone out to war with Saul to battle. And the names of the 3 sons that went to battle were Eliab, the firstborn, and the second was Abinadab, and the third was Shammah. And David was the youngest. Now the 3 oldest followed Saul. But David went back and forth from Saul to tend to his father and the flock at Bethlehem. And the Philistines came forward morning and evening for 40 days and took their stand. Then Jesse said to David his son, "Take now for your brothers an ephod of roasted grain, and then 10 loaves, and run them to the camp for your brothers. Bring also 10 cuts of cheese to the commander of their thousands, and look into the welfare of your brothers, and bring me back news of them." For Saul and all the men of Israel were gathered in Elah, fighting with the Philistines. David rose early in the morning and left the flock with a keeper, and took the supplies and went as Jesse commanded him. And he came and circled the camp of the army and was going into a battle of the camp. The army were going into battle array and shouting their war cry. And Israel and the Philistines drew in battle, and the army against army. Then David left his bag in the care of the bag keeper and ran into the battle and entered in to greet his brothers. And while he was talking with them, behold, the champion of the Philistines of Gath, named Goliath, was coming up from the army of the Philistines and spoke some of these same words David heard him say. While all the men of Israel saw, they fled from him and were greatly afraid. And the men of Israel said, "Have you seen this man who is coming up? Surely he is coming up to defy Israel." And let's see. And he will be and it will be that the king will encircle the man who kills him with great riches and give him his daughter and make his father's house free from taxation. Then David spoke to the men who were standing by him, saying, "What will be done for the man who kills this Philistine and takes the approach away from Israel? For who is this uncircumcised Philistine that he would taunt the armies of the living God?" And the people answered him according to this word, saying, "This will be done for the man who will kill him." Now Eliab, his older brother, heard who spoke to the men, and Eliab's anger burned against David, and he said, "Why have you come?" He says, "And whom have you left your few sheep in the wilderness? Know that you're insolent and that your wickedness of your heart, for you have come down in order to see the battle." But David said, "What have I done now? What is it? Was it not just a question?" Then he turned away from him and to another and said the same thing, and the people answered him the same as before. Let's pray, and I'll read you another story. It's a lot of text, but I'll read you. Father, in the name of Jesus, that we come before you.